covering the cities and towns of South Carolina with news and information you can use. Here's Judy Gatson with Hometown Network News.
The Municipal Association of South Carolina is making headlines with the launch of plans for a long-range public engagement and awareness-building initiative. Susan Schneider reports on how this project came about.
Municipal leaders around the state agree about the importance of cities.
Well, I think obviously if you look at most any county in South Carolina, the major city is the economic engine that runs that county.
I don't think you can find an economic model in the United States that is not built around a healthy and vibrant city. I'm a strong believer in big and small cities having those resources that they need in order to attract those amenities and attract job investment and opportunities for all the citizens of that community.
But our citizens are bombarded with literally thousands of media messages daily. It's easy to see how the message that our cities are vital to the state's prosperity can be overlooked. To get this message the exposure it deserves, the Municipal Association has launched a long-range initiative to encourage hometown business and other leaders to use their influence to get the message out about the important roles our cities play in the state's overall health.
Because our state now is a collection of towns and cities, and that's what is going to drive South Carolina. That's what's going to make our state a great place to live. It's about home, people having a voice. It's about our future, and towns and cities being healthy and robust. We can't take them for granted. They are essential to the well-being of South Carolina. We need to support them. The citizens of our towns and cities need to be engaged in their future.
As Mayor Riley suggests, cities and towns drive South Carolina's success. But to spread the word about the value of cities, we must have a specific and long-range plan to engage our citizens, especially our opinion leaders, in helping to spread this message. At the annual meeting 2 years ago, the Municipal Association leadership began working with a consultant who helped identify the issues and concerns of this long-range initiative. This working group developed the key messages to get the planning for this initiative moving.
We also had to bring it down to like 3 key points. Past that, it was just too much. They would never be able to hang on to it. The main thing at that point is that we had the data to back it up. That was critical.
Today, after substantial research, planning, increased staffing, and the hiring of a marketing and PR firm, we are ready to kick off this initiative.
This initiative will be telling the good news stories about things that are happening in South Carolina cities. Once we get the word out about all the positive things that are happening, people will understand the importance of South Carolina cities and towns to their future.
Quite a challenge, but there's already a plan emerging to help local key influencers better understand the value of cities and towns and to engage them in this effort. For Hometown Network News, this is Susan Schneider.
Thanks, Susan. Cities and towns are the backbone of South Carolina's prosperity, but often the value of cities is not fully appreciated by local opinion leaders or policymakers. Wanda Stokes takes a look at several local influential leaders who understand the important roles cities play in the state's economic success.
Judy, we talk with people charged with making a positive difference in the lives of people in South Carolina, and the message is clear. People who get involved create a change. And our state leaders recognize that and encourage it.
The importance of being involved in the development of cities and towns and encouraging their growth and quality of life is vital, because without that kind of interaction, without that kind of participation, then we're not going to have as successful an economy, we're not going to have as successful a culture as we could have with that interaction.
Partnerships are a key component to developing strong cities.
Great cities are bridge builders, because a great part of what a city ought to be about is building bridges and partnerships between people, to bring people together to make things happen in terms of economic development. And what a great city does is add value to what they have, to the natural assets of a community, to make those assets even better than they were to begin with.
Progressive cities are also magnets for young people looking to prosper.
I think all over the state, you see the renaissance of downtowns, and you see this outreach to keep the young people involved with the cities. I think it's I think it's a great trend, and I think it bodes well for our future.
Involvement from key influencers and business leaders takes many shapes and forms. Many learned early on how important it is to get involved.
I got started at 5 years old in my hometown of Estill, South Carolina, where my daddy was the mayor of the town. And it was then that I realized that local leadership is so vital to the well-being of our towns and cities.
But government can't do it alone.
Towns and cities are set up with the governmental structure, but it's important that we have good folks, citizens, that take part in that process, the key being the people.
Encouraging the involvement and investment of these key influencers is critical to the success of this initiative. For Hometown Network News, I'm Wanda Stokes.
Now let's check in on the upcoming weather forecast.
For South Carolina cities, the forecast looks mostly sunny with just a few clouds on the horizon. So let's take a closer look at some of that stormy weather that continues to crop up, like policy issues that get in the way of productive local government. For instance, city leaders continue to fight for more fiscal flexibility and better annexation laws. Now, there's still frequent cloud cover when it comes to legislative issues, but with this new initiative in place, we forecast clearing and sunny skies ahead.
It is a big world of communications messages out there. Cutting through the clutter is going to be quite a challenge for these municipal officials, especially without a multi-million-dollar ad budget to get the word out. They're going to have to be very focused on their message and on who they target in order to make long-term changes in the attitudes of people they need to reach. Lynn Garrison takes a look at how this initiative will grab the attention of key influencers and policymakers.
When a large corporation with deep pockets like Microsoft sets out to influence public opinion, it bombards the airways with ads. As elected officials and good stewards of tax dollars, municipal association leaders understand that bringing policymakers and opinion leaders on board about the value of cities will be a daunting task. The Municipal Association is working with Carolina PR, a marketing and public relations firm, to help develop a brand and a plan for this awareness initiative. But this is more than a one-time marketing blitz. The goal of this long-range initiative is to raise hometown voices to a new level of influence and remind local opinion leaders that they have a voice in and responsibility to the success of their city or town.
For this initiative to be successful, every citizen and business leader and municipal elected official must talk about the value of South Carolina cities to the future of South Carolina. And we need your help as the municipal elected officials in our state, talking with and telling your citizens about the importance of this initiative.
This won't be your typical advertising or marketing campaign, though. We're taking a fresh new approach to an old problem.
This initiative is a relationship building campaign. We want the legislators, the opinion leaders, and the people of South Carolina to understand the importance of strong cities to their future.
Most hometown leaders instinctively understand the value of cities. Our challenge is to take that often passive understanding and move it to active support on behalf of this initiative. First, we remind these leaders of the value of cities. Second, we engage them and their local municipal leadership to reinforce this message. Third, we encourage their involvement and civic engagement. The new brand helps communicate these concepts clearly and succinctly.
We had 3 goals in mind when working to develop this brand identity. First, it needed to tie to all cities and towns in South Carolina. Second, it needs to be memorable, descriptive, and brief. And third, it needs to resonate with our primary audience, our key influencers. We remind them that their town is their home, and they have a voice in the future prosperity of their community. These 3 phrases, when taken together, convey the message that the voice of South Carolina cities and towns is the voice of the people of South Carolina. That's how it all comes together. It's Hometown SC, our home, our voice, our future.
Over the next several years, this campaign will incorporate a series of strategically planned events, mini campaigns, awareness-building strategies, and partnerships with localized resources. Through these efforts, we'll motivate and engage our hometown key influencers to raise their voices in support of our cities. For Hometown Network News, I'm Lynn Garrison.
So that's what it's all about. Hometown South Carolina. Our home, our voice, our future.
Our home, our voice, and our future.
Our cities are our home, our voice, and our future.
It's our home, our voice, our future.
Hometown South Carolina means our home.
Our home.
It's our home. Our home.
Our home,
Our voice.
Our voice.
Our voice.
Our voice.
Our voice.
And our future.
And our future.
Our future.
Our future.
Our future.
This is about our home, our voice, and our future.
Our future.
Our home, our voice, and our future.